guys, welcome back to the channel. Right, today what we're going to do is a couple of 2.5-inch grubs, but slightly different. We're going to give them different coloured tails to the bodies, just so there's something different than we're normally seeing, something unique. Also what we're going to do is a grub with a core shot, which when the light shines on it, it makes it a pretty impressive lure. So hang around, should be good. Cheers. Right, here we are, 2.5-inch grub, mould, put it together, get it clamped in. You have to clamp it in because otherwise it does leave sort of spider webbing around the lure because it will overshoot. Right. Nicely set up. Right, I've got some see that? Motor oil already primed up, ready to go. We're going to make a motor oil grub, and then we're going to make a change tail on it. So, obviously gloves on. For people who've asked, I do have a respirator, but obviously when I film, I can't really have the respirator on because you can't really hear me. So let's get to it. Let's do our first one. Stick a bit in, make sure there's no air. In the sprue, bit of pressure, hold that pressure, let it off, let the rig come back up, fill the sprue up, and there you go. So in a couple of minutes time that'll be ready, and when it is we'll come back and we'll have a look. Now this is all set up and ready to go. Let's see what it's like. And there you go. Perfect 2.5-inch motor oil grub. Really nice. So now what we're going to do is make alternative tails in this. So we'll just cut off the sprue on the end, and we're going to actually cut the tail off. So we're going to use that and put it on a different colour bait in a minute. To a red and green grub, but motor oil tail. Top back on. Which is all flush. Yep, that's pretty good. Clamp it again. And now it's going to heat the red for a little bit longer, just to make sure it's at right temperature.
Let's put our gloves on.
About right. Make sure there's no air in it. In the injector, give it pressure, hold it for a bit, and release it. Make sure the sprue's full. Right, and hopefully when that's finished, we've got a red grub with a green tail. That's set. Let's have a look. And what we've got now, red grub, green tail. Let's cut off the sprue for that. And there you go. Red grub with the motor oil tail. Now we're going to do the opposite. We're going to do a motor oil grub with a red tail. So again, we put the tail in very carefully into the mould. I made the tail in this fraction, added a little bit of body to this, just to give it a little bit different look. You can see that's nicely sitting in there. Close the mould up. Nice and tight. Get the motor oil. Might give it about 10 seconds in the microwave. Just to start to cool up a little bit. When it cools up, it thickens up, and you want it. I tend to shoot it a little bit higher than normal when I'm joining the tails of the grubs. That way it gives it time to, and the heat to melt together. Good enough. Of course, gloves. And I've learnt the hard way. I have actually burnt myself, and it wasn't fun. Okay, so here we go. Nice motor oil. A little bit out, make sure there's no air bubbles in there. Push down, actually put some pressure on it, hold that pressure for a little bit, then release it. Pull it up, make sure the sprue is nice and full. And there we go, in a few minutes it'll set up, and we'll come back and have a look. And now that's ready to go, let's have a look. And there we are, mud or grub. Now I didn't put any oil in with it, so it didn't come out very shiny. That's easy fixed. There you go. Mud or grub, the red tail. Again, something different. So what we'll do now is we'll take the sprue off. Put it back in, don't waste any. There we go again. Nice mud or grub. Nice red tail. Pretty cool. Right, okay, we're going to make a core shot. So, core shot, what we need to do is have something that goes down the middle of the bait to keep a hole in it. So basically when we do the second shot, that plastisol can pour through it and also make the tail. So, all the way around, I usually put the nail in it. So like that, and that's what allows me to have my core shot. But if you can see, it's not necessarily in the middle of the bait, it's more on the bottom of one side of the bait. So what I do is I get my colour, I'm going to do the main outside of the body and dip this in just to make it a little bit thicker. You can see there's a little bit of thickness to that nail there. And then the other side. Same again, let it dry a little bit, and then put it in the mould. So you can see now, that's a little bit more proud. So this will make a body with a core shot in it.
So close it up.
Clamp it up nice and tight. Our motor oil's at temperature. There's no air in it. Bit of pressure. Release it. And there we go. Right, let's see what we have. Like I said, we have a perfect motor oil body. You just cut the top off. And as you can see, that nail is right in the middle there. So what we do now is push that nail out. What you can do is you can oil that nail beforehand, but they usually just slide out pretty easily. There you go. Slides out. So now, and I'll just trim this end off. We have a hole going all the way through and a body. Now we put the body back in the shell. It's all nice and ready. I'm going to remelt the red. And then when we put it in now, it'll have a red core, so it'll have a red part going through the motor oil, and also a red tail. A couple more minutes.
Right, let's shoot this. Again, suck it up, make sure no air bubbles. Put in the sprue, push down hard. Make sure there's no too much pressure.
And here we go. In a few minutes, that should set up just nicely. And we should have a motor oil grub with a red tail and a red core. Let's see how we go. Back in a sec. But you'll get the idea. So, here's our grub. Just clean off all this spider webbing stuff, and that just comes off really easily because it's just super thin. Right, take off the sprue at the top. Right, now, as you can see, again, clean this up later. Yes, we've got two of them now, which are red tail and green grub, but if you can see that, I don't know if you can, I'll do some photos up there, up in the comments or up in the split screen. There's a red core shot going through that. So that's a core shot red grub with a red tail. That's the end of the video. Some really unique grubs, they look good. I'm going to test them out in the river in a couple of weeks' time, and I'll let you know, and I'll probably put a video forward of how they went, and hopefully catch some good fish. The video which will be coming up next in a couple of days' time will be how to do grubs again in different other lures, but this time with two colours in the body, not just the tail, but actually in the body itself, and it should be good. So keep your eye out for that one. It should be coming soon. Thanks guys, cheers.